Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for episode 17 of the WPG 2025 Academy. We are very, very blessed to have Katarzyna Myćka with us. Katarzyna, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Good evening. So happy to be here.
Yeah, it's going to be great to hear all of your feedback to the guys performing. And I know you're very busy yourself. We've just spoken off air about your activities. Do you want to say a little bit about your performances at the minute and what you're doing through the summer?
Oh well, just finishing the season actually with the duo performances with Conrado Moya. I just came back from Spain, almost also from the beach where Luis is now spending this time. But now we need to finish the semester. So last exams, last lessons, last rehearsals to finish the program of this year. And I'm looking forward to have some other activities, not only playing during the vacation. And then my Marimba Academy is coming in September, so that is also quite a big amount of work to prepare.
Yeah, fantastic. Tell me a bit more about your Marimba Academy. I know it's been running longer than most, to be honest. So yeah, tell me how that sort of expanded over the years.
Yeah, it's actually doing really well. I think it started 2003, so we will be in the 11th edition because one time during Corona pandemic we stopped. And it's happening every other year and in different places. So we were starting in Poland, in Germany, Luxembourg. We were in the United States for one edition. So that is something that should be moved. And I'm very happy that people from many countries are joining. 32 active places, people who will get a lesson every day and have rehearsals, play concerts, and so that is a pretty active program, we can say, and it's a beautiful place to build your own network, maybe get some ideas what to do, where to go for study, what to do after you studied, maybe how to form ensembles or programs. So I think it's something without any, exactly like your event, WPG, without any competition, without any pressure, just to about music, friendship, and fun, more or less, and then just learning from each other. I think it's pretty nice. So it's happening in September now, first time in Essen, where I have the teaching position since 2 years. So I'm looking forward to everybody to come to my new home.
Yeah, fantastic. And is it for people watching at home? Is it too late to register, or are you taking registration now?
I have one more place left because yesterday someone coincidentally from active performer changed to short study experience. So I have one place open now if someone is interested.
All right. So anyone watching, then reach out to me and I'll forward it to Casper so we can sort that one out. So brilliant. We should move on because we've got a lot of percussion activity this evening. So we're going to start with Lewis, who is... Where's he gone? There we go.
Hello.
Lewis is currently at the beach, so I'll let him introduce himself and what he's going to present. Over to you.
Well, I'm from Spain, from Cartagena. I've been studying in Granada. I had a class with you, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, that you came to our music school. And now I have just finished my degree and I'm doing my master in Madrid, starting next September. So let's hope it goes well. And you're gonna hear Merlin that I play in my final exam. And I've been working since last year this piece. There is still work to do in order to get it right, but I'm trying.
All right, fantastic. Now, I know you've watched these already, so should we play a little bit? And then if you want to just tell me to stop the video, we can do that, just for the benefit of people watching at home.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. That's good for me.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me, what is your inspiration for this first movement of the Merlin? Is there anything you are orienting yourself on?
I kind of look into some percussionists. I mostly the Kai Strobel in the tromp. That's kind of. I also have your Spotify recording, and I kind of sing the melody in my head, like how I imagine, and then I try to use the roll to get that melody flowing.
Okay, I see. Wouldn't that not be better to find the inspiration in the score and in yourself? This is something that I think is actually awakening our creativity if we first not listen to other people's recordings. And thank you so much if you listen to mine, but I think first should not be the idea. Maybe just being you in the score. I mean, there are better and maybe less better pieces that are written for marimba, and I think Merlin is one of the absolutely the best that we have. There's a lot of music in. And Andrew Thomas is a phenomenal composer, and for me, especially amazing because he's not a marimbist, and
Yeah.
I see that in few, a few mentionings in the score, and I think it's just so cute because he was working with Bill Marsh, middle of 80s, to write the piece. Piece is dedicated to Bill, but I don't think they did a lot of interaction. But the first thing for the first movement is, I mean, this is all rolled. You have all the tremolo all the way around. It needs to be super connected, It just needs to be very, very gentle and very sensitive acting. So he did not want it middle of 80s. If you see marimba historically a little bit, he did not like this kind of little bit, I will call it Japanese roll at that time. That was, left to right kind of. That was too hard. So he was looking probably for some way to sustain the marimba sound, but not make this da 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 da, this aggressive. Exactly. And at that time, this independent role, this method of movement that Lee Howard Stevens was promoting also was giving a little bit of an idea how to deal with that. And independent role is kind of regulated, and this is something that I don't like at all, to be honest. And I would rather make a mixture of both kinds of role, of this, traditional role, but we'll, just start chords together and then immediately relax your acting, your melodies. No, I brought just some melodies to see, and this is just to show. So the first beginning will go, really vertically, and then immediately the next stroke will separate a little bit, if you see that. And also I will, just you get the chord kind of flat, let's see, and then raise your hands a little bit so the mallet head does not touch the bar with the hardest part, but with a little softer.
With the top.
And that will actually help you to get this to get rid of this rhythmical acting, which is a little bit tough and maybe not that pretty for composers who have sensitive ears. So that's why this mentioning play all tremolo as independent role. So Andrew Thomas heard about that. This one I like more, so let's see independent. So, but I'm not asking you to make, left, right or something, but just to relax your role and to relax. And after every chord, raise your hands a little bit. So this position will help you to connect. And this poem, I don't know if you read it in the score. There's this poem.
Wrote the
Exactly.
score. I made my TFG about the piece, so I have the score and the I wrote it.
Everything. Exactly. You know what speaks the most for me for the first movement is this so far beyond the defined edge of the world. That means somewhere super far. We kind of maybe see it a little bit, maybe not, maybe just imagine. So there are many dynamics that are moving between 3P, until 2P, 1P, but slowly. So I would ask you actually by playing this movement to not get overexcited. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't think if you play soft for a long time, it's gonna be boring, because it's super hard really to make a smooth roll that does not increase immediately. You know, many
Okay.
people do, because you think, why? I see crescendo, I do what I can, right? Not necessary, not necessary. I think if you really, because it's such a slow tempo, and if you check the beginning, just the first two lines, first line actually stays in pianissimo. There's only a slight crescendo until mezzo piano, and then go back again. So you are immediately offering way more to say that. Yeah. The same thing is when you start, you know, third line. This is the second phrase. The crescendo is faster. So there's more happening, of course, and maybe if you check it, because there's at the end of each phrase is a longer crescendo or longer tremolo, or a longer note, maybe half a note, or maybe a little longer, or maybe the full bar, and then we have space. Then we have the kind of empty bar that starts on the last beat. I would recommend you, if you perform that, not to move in this part. So whenever you have this roll, you get excited, stay there. And then just right before you need to play, just move, because you were, you know, connecting mallets, maybe organizing yourself. That all breaks the tension if you perform it for the audience. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it's something maybe to consider, because this movement is very, very gentle, but super exciting if you really have the patience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't take it very difficult. And also at the very end, and just the second line before the ending, there's also a crescendo, because we have this tritonos, da long diminuendo, and then the next crescendo is only until mezzo piano, but it's long. Mezzo piano, you have 5 beats in the slow tempo, and then you have 5 beats back. That is long. That's long, and there's no much place, you know, to move. So I will encourage you to find the patience in you. And you know what, I think it's super cute. At the last line, maybe you can see the score. I don't know, do you have the score with you now?
Yes, I have here in my iPad. Yeah.
Okay, so you know, on the last line, there's a description from Andrew Thomas, dead stick. And I thought it's so cute, because we say, you know, dead stroke, right? Dead stroke, because we just want to keep. And he heard something about that, you know, he wanted to stop, and he heard the dead stick. How funny is that? And that is giving me also, you know, impression a little bit. He knew what he wants, but he's not so super familiar with marimba, right?
Yeah.
So he's in this case, he's, you know, bows, he's arcos, he's tenutis, especially according to the second movement, accents, staccati. Some people say on the marimba you can't make the difference. I think you can. And also he imagined you can. That means I think we should respect it more than ever. Yeah? Do you have any questions regarding
I
first
think
movement?
I have a lot of things to work. I think the thing I have to work the most is to be calm, because I'm very nervous, and
Yes.
I can be still playing, so I need to work on that a lot. I know.
Yeah. But just, you know, having maybe for the beginning to keep the calm tempo. I'm offering also to my students to find a sentence. Maybe, I mean, or you know, counting, because if you need every tempo that is below 60, I think it feels very uncomfortable for us, because our heart is actually beating quicker, you know, 120 or something. So we are used to have this quicker action. And the slow one is so unnatural. So maybe have some sentence, you know, I'm so pretty, I'm so pretty, I'm so pretty, I'm so patient, I'm so patient. You know, just say something so you get the feeling for the beat. And until you're not ready with the sentence, don't go on, yeah? And don't increase the speed. And also for the second page up, we have this fortissimo also, where it says slightly faster. Slightly faster is only a little bit, and I think the slightly faster actually belongs more to this intense and tight roll, and maybe a little faster motion, so it's getting more exciting. But you are making almost a double tempo. That's too much. That's a little bit much. I think. Okay, let's see a little bit of the second movement.
Okay, perfect.
Tim?
Sorry, I was too busy putting my fan on. It's really hot here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's
Can we
okay.
can we have a little bit of the second
Yeah,
movement?
we can. Lewis, do you know what timestamp it is? Do you know where in the video? Because I've got one video. Any idea what?
I think is
I think the way about in the middle. It doesn't
In the
have to be the beginning. Yeah, when you
right.
go in the middle, it's fine.
maybe in the 6 minutes.
Thank you. So we were now in the third page. It's actually a good example of a little bit, because this page is extremely difficult, because there are some issues, some runs that is actually a sticking problem. I just want to, mention that there are some natural features of the marimba that give you dynamics, that give you the loud and blast. How would you do it? How would you describe that?
For the second movement, I'm just focused maybe too much on not missing notes. So I'm trying.
In general, I'm asking in general, if you want to play loud, how would you do it on marimba?
I use my arm. I do a
Just
full
raise
full
about the distance. Yeah,
raise
exactly.
my arm, let the movement do all the weight.
Yes, that's very good. And in the piano?
I use less height, and if it's very piano and I have to be very clear, more wrist and less arm.
Okay, how about if it's piano and legato?
Less height and arm, but less height.
Yeah, but that doesn't help you with legato. That doesn't help you with connection. This will be maybe some softer. Any idea?
Maybe not.
Okay, maybe you can try, because there's this bar which you repeat, this section which you're repeating. This is bar 57 and 63, no, in the score. This is piano and legato. You have legato in the right hand, so I would recommend you to move more horizontal, not vertical, because here, whenever you go even the short distance, and we have kind of heavy mallets, heavy heads, there will always be an impulse, and with a good instrument, you will already have quite a dynamics, yeah? And this is fast. So what we need to do, we need to avoid this vertical stroke. We rather need to go horizontal.
Okay.
Go inside. So finding a position between the ding dong 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 down the rim pom. It's a little bit like a broom, yeah? Are you sometimes cleaning yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how it feels, right? So this is exactly the movement. It's exactly the movement. We need the wrist, but the wrist is going, against the mallet. So this is the movement, basically.
Okay.
And this is taking you the energy out, because everything that goes vertically down, everything will have an impulse, will be already strong. Yeah, you can have a piano with strong motion, but and for staccato is cool. Yeah, but if you have a legato, you need to get the energy, more diagonal on the bars, not really. And I would recommend you, because you have the H voices like B natural and D. So go a little bit further and make kind of 8, right? Like kind of the sign for infinity. Exactly. So that helps you to make the legato. This will be right hand. The left hand has tenuti. So tenuto is definitely something not sharp like an accent, not short, but with more weight. boom, 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 boom. So you have these two levels going on. Super interesting if you make it happen. And that is repeating until the box number one. The box number one is even pianissimo, but there's no legato anymore. So I recommend you, because if we have the legato, this broom motion, for pianissimo, I will raise my mallets up and go out of the center of the bar. Then you immediately reduce the dynamics. And this is, for such a fast pieces, for pieces where you have so many notes, if notes are overlapping, it's already kind of loud. Yeah. So whenever you need, when you need realistically to reduce the loudness, exactly, then you need to find a method, really go out of the center, maybe raise up your hand if you need more, depending legato or staccato, but raising your hand will still let you go vertical, but just softer out of the good resonance zone. So this is one thing. And as we said, forte and also accents, this is height and also the center of the bar. And we have the situation, if you have the score, this is also the box number one, this is bar number 43. Yeah. I would recommend you to change sticking here, because it's not effective what you're doing. You go with especially bar 40, in the middle of the 44 and then 45. You're staying the do-di, do-di, do-do-do-do-do. This is not good, because as you see, if you check accents, you have accent on F sharp and you have accent on E flat. That means you are playing on the edge. That means there's no much sound left. It is very simple to change the sticking to 2-4-2-3-1-3. 2-4-2-3, and then you have a very comfortable motion. Play everything in the center, and you have the control if you play the accent or not the place where you're playing. No? So if this will be piano, and as I'm saying, the pianissimo or something, you need to reduce. I'm the first person who will say go out of the center. But if you have mezzo forte and accents, so there should be sound. You have to go to the center. You just need to find a better sticking. And also the same with this run, which is so crazy, from bar 53 and over, right? This one is on the big crescendo. So playing left to right does not work, because you have quite a few edges. So, I mean, this is too long now to get the sticking, but I would recommend you really to divide some of the intervals between hands. And make sure if you do a crescendo that you don't lose any sound, right? That is maybe interesting. And just generally for this movement, I think, for this movement from this poem that I spoke about at the beginning, for me, inspiring is time sway. Time you can't stop. Time is running. Time is having the same unit. And what is extremely exciting about this movement for me is that in the same time, the same unit, you have different articulations. You have some later, you have some roll, but time is running. Ta-dam, 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 ta-dam. So I also recommend you to find a unit in that you can play every part of the second movement, so you don't have to slow down because you don't have the technical abilities, although you're very good. I'm just saying as an example. Or you don't have to slow down because something is uncomfortable, or if something is easy, then you speed up. I think it's super exciting if you really keep the unit running and just concentrate on making different dynamics, different articulations, finding your way, for legati, for staccati, for tenuti. This is so extremely interesting. And there are maybe 2 or 3 places when he starts slowly. So it's da, po, ba, po, ba, po, ba, ba, something, right? But it's indication of the composer. So I think having that really, this time sway is for me really like an obligation in this case. And Andrew Thomas, as I want to repeat myself, I adore him. A fantastic composer with very much knowledge and imagination what marimba could do, and that's amazing. That's amazing. So you're playing one of my absolutely favorite adored pieces, and wish you very good luck and a lot of fun with that. But this is a live project, I have a feeling. Yeah? Berlin is something that you're not so much ready with.
I have to keep studying and working on it for my whole life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's fascinating. I love these pieces when they never get boring, right? This is so great. Do you have any questions? Is anything not clear? Or?
I think most of my questions are solved with all that you told me, because I had some question about that part tan, ton, tan, ton, for the part that moving tan, ton, tan, ton, tan, tin, tan, because
Exactly.
I wasn't able to hit all the notes because my I'm also left-handed, so my right is a bit, that may be
Okay.
a problem.
Just let it go. Raise a little bit your wrist and make like a broom. Clean your apartment before you start playing, and then go to this place, and it's gonna
Okay.
work perfectly.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect then. I will
Yeah.
try.
Thank you.
All right,
you.
Lewis. Well done.
Nice to meet you.
We're
Thank
gonna
you.
have to sadly
Your time.
swiftly move on. Nice job. Well done. Alrighty, we're gonna go for some traditional Mexican music now. Sergio, hello, are you there? Hopefully their connection is okay. Now, Sergio has a translator. Hola! Sergio has a translator, but he's an amazing translator and has done amazingly well so far. So, Fernando, hi, how you doing?
Hi, nice to see you guys. Very happy.
All right, so there is a little delay on the feed, so we'll do our best. But let's play the track first. So this is Zandunga, which is a traditional Mexican song. So do you know this already, Kashka?
I saw the video also. I like it very much enjoyed.
Yeah, okay.
Sí, me gusta mucho.
Let's watch a little bit.
very much. I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate very much that you're playing music from your country.
Qué bueno que estás tocando música de tu país.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you are the specialist. You are from Mexico, so I just left a part of my heart in Mexico. So and listening to marimbas played there, maybe I got some impression, and can tell you some recommendations or how do I see that.
Ok, que puede tal vez decirte algunas cosas sobre cómo puedes tocarla por algunos compañeros que tuvo.
So we have a very, in a classical way, we have kind of introduction into the piece until the melody goes on. No? The melody goes on by bar 16, right? So this introduction, I will try to make as exciting as possible, also dynamic-wise.
Ok, que ella trataría de hacerlo un poquito más dinámico en cuanto a las dinámicas, un poquito más mejor hasta toda la introducción, que es hasta el compás 16, toda la primera parte.
Okay.
So using also this inscription ad libitum that Israel is writing, and don't only take it ad libitum to play always faster, but maybe also start slower and start also soft, because in generally it is never exciting if you play only loud and fast. Yeah, it's exciting for some first impression, but then it's becoming kind of known. So I think it's always better to have more differences, to start slower, and then we have the relation. If you get faster, then everybody's whoa, 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 and then maybe also take it down again and then increase again. So whenever you have these differences, it's always
All right, I think Katarzyna just dropped out, but that's all right. So just to follow on, I think. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, we're good.
Something kicked me out.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't you? Okay.
Neither we.
So maybe you can puede traducir.
Sí.
Gracias.
Dice que no siempre tocar rápido y fuerte, que a lo mejor si empiezas una pieza de esa manera, pues al inicio puede ser como de lo mismo, todo el tiempo fuerte y rápido. Entonces dice que en esta parte, pues es más interesante si empiezas a lo mejor un poquito más suave y más lento, y ahora sí conforme va avanzando, ya lo vas como que haciendo a lo mejor más rápido, más fuerte, la gente empieza a decir como, achis, ¿qué está pasando? ¿No? Venía de algo suave y lento, y luego otra vez un poquito más suave, y luego otra vez, o sea, como el contraste, ¿no? La introducción a lo mejor funciona más que empiece suave y lento.
And especially the third line, if we have this this is kind of figuration, so we could go so there make more variations, or opposite, starts soft. So there's just depends on you how you want to set it, but there's more to do, more to stretch it, just to have the sensation not of playing fast, but playing faster always, be in the process of, you could play any faster you want, right? So this is, I think, what makes the piece exciting, this unpredictable sensation.
Que es lo que hace la pieza impredecible, ¿no? O sea, como tienes que... Si entendiste lo que te estaba diciendo, con pam, 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 empezar a lo mejor suavecito, pam, 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 o sea, dinámicas y con la velocidad, ¿no? Es lo que hace como la pieza interesante.
And then when the melody starts, I will recommend you from a marimbistic point of view, right hand, when you have the intervals, the first is sexta, and I will not make the run, the introduction with one hand, I will do with both, to make a nice crescendo. It's easier, and catch the interval first together, juntos really, and then roll. Yeah. So first chord, because what you do right now is immediately da 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 da. You're starting with the roll. I will start with a impulse, with a clean impulse. Yeah.
Ya, que ya comenzaría, que tú estás empezando como con el rol inmediatamente en el primer intervalo y que ya comenzaría primero limpio, los dos al mismo tiempo, y luego ya le metería no todo desde el inicio, porque es que tú estás comenzando así. Y...
Exactly, because then...
y que lo haría con las dos manos. Sorry.
Yeah, because then... No, I'm sorry. Because okay, because after the sexta, these thirds are also coming together, right? So it's actually nice to have this like same line. Because on the marimba we have the roll. The goal of the roll is actually to sustain the sound, right? It's not because it's like super pretty or something, because actually it's ugly. We are the only instrument that wants to play the long note and legato, making so many short ones, right? So it's actually in the conflict itself, yeah.
O sea, porque sé que también cuando llegas a la parte de las terceras, también tienen que venir como junto con la, como vienes con ese porque dice que, pues, en la marimba, lo que me decías tú, ¿no? En la marimba, pues, para el rol, realmente su único objetivo, pues, es hacer una nota sostenida, no tanto porque, ay, qué bonito suena estar haciendo así, ¿no? Que son como el único instrumento que tienen que para hacer una nota sostenida, pues, tienes que tocar como muchas notas así, rapidito, pegaditas, para que suene.
So we need to relax a little bit and make the first impulse of what is written. If it is a chord or just the interval. So if the interval stays together, for me, it's always a sign to play it together first to produce the sound. And if we need to sustain it, we do the roll, right? So this is the idea, I think, yeah. And that also helps very much to play on time. So I'm pretty sure if you would, give a try to that, you'll feel more relaxed because you'll see, okay, I don't have to play that loud. It's not tense at all because just the sound is coming immediately, and then I'm just, watching to support it a little bit.
Ya. Entonces, que para ella siempre el primer, ¿cómo se dice? El primer impulso, relajado, o sea, al mismo tiempo. Y ya después ya viene el rol. Y que también ayuda mucho, tocar a tiempo. Did you say it also helps play on time?
Yes, it helps because these two voices are appearing on time,
Yeah.
And this is now until your role is functioning, until you can hear everything. It's actually time is gone. Maybe there's some funky rhythm or in the left hand or in the accompaniment. It's not that safe. I met this experience playing with a string orchestra. There were I had a part with rolls in the Kopetsky concerto, I remember. And then there was just one rehearsal and I needed, to get the piece done very quickly. And then I recorded and I thought, wow, nothing is together. We never, on time. But actually that was me. That was my fault because I was giving two impulses like typical marimbas do, right? One hand always ahead of the other. So I changed and I played down. So that was why I was very sure for them. Where is the point? Yeah. So whenever you play with other musicians, other classical musicians, they will always hear two. If you don't start on time, they will always hear two impulses. It's hard to follow, ¿no?
Ya. Sí, dice, ella cuenta una experiencia que cuando estuvo tocando en un concierto, con una orquesta, ella escuchó la grabación y se dio cuenta que ella estaba como escuchando dos impulsos iniciales, entonces realmente siempre se escuchaba como que no estaban cuadrados, como que iban, que precisamente como la marimba como que se acostumbra a tocar, como pues no se sabía realmente cuál era el tiempo exacto y siempre se siente como que estás a destiempo. Entonces que es más, por eso es más recomendable como que el primer impulso siempre las dos.
Yeah, and then just about the piece a little bit. Then we are moving actually in this very typical Mexican 1, 2, 3. It's a dancing character, so it depends what do we want to reach. If you want the piece an enjoyable piece, muy agradable, then I will recommend rather maybe not to double the right hand in octaves from bar 30, because this is like a big challenge. It's far from each other. And it costs you, it's a little bit tense, no? Because you're trying hard, to make everything happen. So this light, dancing, enjoyable character is getting lost a little bit. And also having only one line will also allow you sometimes to take one of the melody notes into the left hand when left hand is free, because left hand is basic 1, 2, and 3 is completely free. So you could actually take some notes which will already relax the whole structure of the right hand. Yeah, so that is, I think, essential, and that will allow you to play more more relaxed. Like, for example, you have the bar, I don't know, do you have the score with you now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so like bar 41, beat 3, you have 416 notes, right? Left hand is doing nothing, and you really with right hand it's so hard to play everything, all these 16 notes. So I think it's actually nicer, maybe. I mean, if you want to practice octaves, I can recommend you some pieces. That's enough octaves. But so for this, I think it's rather nice to play an enjoyable piece, right?
Ok, que en la parte, en el compás número 30, tienes ahí unas octavas que estás doblando. Recomendaría que no las dobles porque estás como muy tenso tratando de atinar y se vuelve algo tenso en vez de hacerlo algo muy relajado, sobre todo si estás tratando de que la pieza suene como muy bailable o como muy así, ¿no? Entonces que no dobles las octavas y que eso te permite incluso que algunas notas que tienes en la mano derecha, sobre todo en el tercer tiempo, que puedas tomar una de las notas, tocarlas con la mano izquierda. Como que tienes más libre para tomar alguna de las notas, porque dice que tienes 1 y 2 y en el tercero ya no tienes nada en la mano izquierda. Entonces puedes tocar una de la mano derecha con la mano izquierda y ya también como que sentirte un poquito más libre y menos tenso. Y en el compás 40 o 41, dice que
41.
también tiene 41, que tienes también muchas notitas ahí arriba y tienes la mano izquierda que realmente no está haciendo mucho, no está haciendo nada. Entonces que puedes tomar algunas de las notas de la melodía de la mano derecha y tocarlas con la mano izquierda para que se vuelva un poquito más relajado.
In the same situation as in 43, in 43, if you can see, if you take only the E natural in the left hand, everything will go well, because so we'll have only 3 notes in the right hand, super easy.
Así solo 3 notas con la mano derecha, pues va a ser mucho más fácil. Entonces que el Mi natural, pues es tocarlo con la mano.
See, so even just one note, but it's totally relaxing the whole structure. You will see that makes you play way more free and faster, lighter.
Te vas a sentir que tocas como más libre, más fácil, más ligero. Si aunque sea una sola nota la que toques con la mano izquierda, o sea que la cambies, pero vas a sentir el cambio.
No, ok.
And in bar 45, what do you, when there's this letters TR, what do you play?
Cuando tienes las letras T, A, T, R, ¿qué tocas? 45, T, R, el tremolo.
Roll.
Roll.
Yeah, but if composers are writing TR, they don't mean roll, they mean trill. Trill is always consisting with 2 notes. So it's not like a roll on one note. Should also always, this is, trill belongs to ornaments. It's not like a redoble, pero es como un ornament.
Sí,
yeah. So that needs 2 notes.
Ajá. Okay. Que toques un trim, o sea, con 2 notas que no.
Okay.
Exactly. So it is, in this case, you always take, for trill, you take the note which is written, and then one higher, one above. And in this case, because we are in C minor, so we have this A flat. So this will be G in A flat, will be the small secunda, no? Because you go da di da 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 di da di da dum da da dum, like a small cadenza, no? So I'm pretty sure. Okay.
Eso que en este caso sería como el la natural, el sol, y tocas el trino sol, la, fin, torre, o lo que sea, ¿no? Ajá, que porque es como más cadencia.
Eso es. And then we have the situation from 47 that it is changing the metrum from 3/4 to 3/8. 3/8 is immediately giving me, I don't have to see the piece, but it's immediately giving me a feeling for alla breve, yeah, in one. And it's not like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, it's more 1, 2, 3, it's kind of more fluent, yeah. It can be organized and one doesn't have to. It can also go in three, but it's giving, you know, it's nice if we musicians immediately get an idea, okay, something is changing. It's not the same metrum, it's also 3, but it's 8, no? As a small, it's corchea, no, o semicorchea se llama. Oh.
Ajá, sí, corchea.
Corchea.
Okay.
So this is always having a lighter character forward, no? So this needs to be organized well to be in alla breve feeling.
Porque que cuando cambia de 3/4 a 3/8, pues aún, bueno, creo que eso sí lo entiendes, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Para que se sienta como más libre, que inmediatamente, sin ver la indicación de tempo, pues tú sientes que tiene que ser como un poquito más ligero. Ajá.
And also, maybe when you have the left hand, no, because it's made of Mexican traditional music where you have the bass player, the harmony player, the melody player. And so in this case, we have the bass line is only the C and the G mostly. So this will be the important note, which is kind of heavy. And I will recommend you to play the second note with a different position, because the heavy note will be, of course, loud and straight, and the others 2 and 3 with a little bit raising your, you know, changing position. So that will not be so hard. Right now you're playing everything same position, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's the same heavy. It's too strong. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Will be a little more elegant. And this having this faster feeling, this alla breve feeling, will connect it a little bit more around. This is down, down, and a little bit more already going up to the bass note. So the third one is kind of on the way up and not correcting much. That will immediately have less energy, and that will be easier now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Will not be as stiff, no? For the tempo di valsa, we need actually the fluent way.
Sí, que en la música tradicional que tenemos el que toca el bajo, el que toca la orilla y el que toca el arpa o cualquier otra cosa, ¿no? Entonces, que en este caso tú que tienes en tu mano izquierda, pues la línea del bajo como 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. La primera nota tiene que estar como más pesada, pero dice que tú ahorita le estás dando todo el peso, el mismo peso a todas las notas. Entonces, que trates de darle el mayor peso a la primera, y que con la modificación que menciona de la muñeca, que lo sientas como a la breve, que 1, 2, 3, 1. Entonces, como tiempo de vals. Entonces, que en el segundo y el tercero ya prácticamente es ya para salir, ya va para arriba, y eso es una sensación de más suave.
Okay.
Exactly. And so that continues, this feeling of alla breve, of this light one, continues over the next bars. And for example, if we check the line with 65 and over, there's a melody. There's a melody in the right hand, but very, you know, just 2 notes, just 1 or 2 notes. So, so these triplets in the left hand, or if the accompaniment you are sharing. Also, I recommend you to play the melody with with more vertical, like down very much, and the triplets this position more. Yeah, so they will be more gentle, more light, and will not stop you so much with the motion. It will be also easier for you to play and just really concentrate that only the notes which belong to the melody will be very resonant.
Okay. parte, por ejemplo, lo hagas en la mano derecha, que nada más es una o dos notas, pues, y los tresillos que tienes con la mano, que lo hagas en la posición y que de esa manera más, pues mejor, ¿no? Más resonante.
Do you have any questions? ¿Tienes preguntas?
Sí, o sea, como que de otro tema. Por ejemplo, ella en una competencia de marimba, ¿qué es lo que busca? A elegir a quien pasa a la siguiente ronda o en este caso al ganador.
¿Cómo?
O sea, para ella, ¿cuáles son sus criterios para ver si alguien gana un concurso?
O pasar a la siguiente ronda. What are your criteria when in a competition to choose who passes to the next round or who is the winner?
Yeah. Music competition's a little tricky because it's so hard sometimes to see who is better, who is maybe not as good. And for me, because it's a competition, I am very much relying on correctness. So if you play the piece, so it's possibly correct, so there are no mistakes, you have an idea about the tempo, you know what you're talking about, what you're playing about. And I think about that because I think the general level of marimba playing, also thanks to Tim and this academy that you're offering and this World Percussion Group and every course that we have now also online, it's easy to get good qualities and to learn more. So the level, I think general level is very good now. It's becoming better and better. So now I think if everybody's playing very good and correct notes and, you know, great dynamical range and nice sound, nice musical ideas, I think it's interesting for me to have a personality where I think very simply, would I spend my own money to buy the ticket for the concert of this person? And I think if yes, I think it's pretty cool. And then I really go. And, you know, if I think, oh no, hopefully, you know, it's over kind of in 5 minutes or something, then it's maybe not the best. So besides of all the qualities that we have marimba wise, there must be something that for me personally that touches my heart and then makes me curious and makes me want to see or to hear the person one more time.
Yeah, I completely agree. And when I do the exams in Birmingham, that's always my first thought. Like, would I pay to go and watch something like that? And if it's something that strikes me, then yes. But it's really interesting because Emmanuel had the same question last night from someone else. So that's really unusual. And his spin on it was that yeah, it needs to stick to the score. It needs to be accurate. But on the other side, it needs to have an interpretation which is striking and something, again, that sort of has that good blend. And he also said that it's quite often that the panels completely disagree. So, you know.
Yes, and I think it's wonderful that we have different, you know, arts of attraction for different people. Otherwise, there will be not so many concerts all over the world, and where many musicians will not be able to live. So,
all right, we need to move on. Sergio, thank you so much. Fernando, thank you for your translation as ever. I know you need to get off, so I hope everything's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move to America. Bye. Ciao, ciao. We're going to move to America now with Lorenzo. I think. Yeah, Lorenzo. Hey, Lorenzo, are you around? If not,
hello.
Hey. Hey, how you doing?
Good. Is my internet okay?
It's not as good as normal, but we probably can survive. That's all right. So, do you want to just introduce yourself and what you're going to present?
Gotcha. I'm Lorenzo Ozella from the University of Texas at Arlington. You were here just last year, I think. Today I'll be playing Umbral Ambitions, which is marimba solo. It's kind of like DCI style. It's really cool.
what does it mean, DCI style?
Oh, it was written by someone from Troopers. It's got a lot of octave textures and fast stuff.
Okay. So that's why. Okay. I guess I'm not familiar with this, shorting. Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much.
All right. So
Um,
I don't know if you just saw in the feed, Lorenzo's got
Yes.
connection issues because there's something there. So Lorenzo, you can put your camera on if you want, and then we'll just see how it goes. Otherwise, Kashka, bless her, will be talking to a circle.
LO circle.
The LO
The
circle.
The circle plays with great accuracy. at
We'll
least.
see until it crashes.
No, that's good. That's good. You're good. Let's go with it.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for playing, and that's a great accuracy. I mean, that's amazing what you're doing. Now the question is how to make the piece work also as a piece of music, not only as a one that is challenging technically, which for sure it is. No? So to make maybe better connection musically wise. And my first idea will be about roles. And especially well, the introduction, no, which starts with roles. So the voices are not moving, parallelly. There's only one voice that is moving, basically. So I would really encourage you in the first bar, what you're playing, to move really only the voice, the melody number 3, raise a little bit higher out of the roll that you're doing. So only, rolling everything kind of relaxedly, but only this one, raising it higher a little bit. That will give the impulse, which is maybe if you've seen how the French horn is playing. French horn cannot actually increase or kind of slice in. They need to have a very clear impulse how they start the tone, and this is something that I believe also in our case. If you have a relaxed and nice little bit tone that you're catching from the higher position gently, that is producing a sound first, and then I will immediately raise the hand a little bit for this position, not to play it higher, but just play first very rich tone and then roll this way. And also avoid rolling right to left hand. More concentrate yourself on the edge voices. These are this number 1 and number 4 melodies, and really trying to play them pretty tight and completely ignore the inner voices, number 2 and 3. And somehow they will follow. If you will shake your hand, they will follow. And this will be a roll which is more round. It's not that rhythmical. And I think if I see, broadly and naturally, and the dynamics are like piano and a little crescendo. But for me, if I see the piano at the beginning and then some crescendo, diminuendo markings, that means we are still in the area of piano. So not much is happening. So just a straight stroke does not work well for these occasions. Does it make sense to you?
Yes,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So like, it needs to be more of a round sound.
More round sound, exactly, and less rhythmical. I mean, I don't know if you've been here, as I was, I think, speaking to the previous person. Marimba is a weird instrument, that needs actually should have a sustained sound, but instead of, one long note, we are playing 35 short notes. So it's, the effect of the long legato beautiful note will be so that really doesn't touch anybody's heart, I would say. So I think here, and it's not about also slowing down the roll, because we can jump maybe to the ending, which is also rolled, but we have a situation when you want to play a crescendo and the chord is spread more, it's not that close as a structure, then you will need to increase the speed, definitely. I'm not a friend of, only relaxed roll, because if the structure is too big, then it just simply does not connect. Sorry, I need to clean my nose. So the point is, if the voices are far from each other, we need kind of speed, that basically gives us impression that every voice is rolling by itself. And not active roll, but a really relaxed roll. So that will be my very strong recommendation to you to work on these rolls, which will also not have this straight stroke. I know for drums, drum corps, and for marching bands, you have to move the same way. You have to have the same speed and height and everything. That's the thing. But then when it comes really to a musical piece, then it's important to consider also different strokes, not only the stroke that goes down like very straight, but maybe has some kind of roll motion. If it's like a roll like this way or maybe like this way, all is good. Yeah. So it doesn't need to look straight. I think it rather needs to feel right. Okay. And then we have, for example, the situation with long distance crescendi with octaves that gives you immediately a lot of sound. I don't know, do you have a score in front of you right now?
Mm-hmm.
So we have, for example, bar number 125. And you're coming out, from the passages, and then octaves are starting where you're supposed to play piano. Man, how, right? I mean, it's already a lot of sound. So for this occasion, I would recommend you to play the octaves not from the straight position as you do right now, but like that more. Because that will allow the mallet to have a contact with the bar. The mallet head will be from this, softer part. It's not like very, very precise or very tightly wrapped. So this is one thing. And I will definitely leave these octaves in the resonant place because they are pulling up the line, the main line, but just take them really, play them from higher position, but I will definitely reduce these triplets. Otherwise, you have no chance for piano in there. So I will really go with these triplets with left hand basically closer to the chords. Doesn't matter to which one, but go out of the center of the bar. That will be a very effective piano, effective soft dynamics. And then, of course, by making the crescendo, which is kind of long, a few bars, last for a few bars, changing the position of octaves, going more flat with your hand and playing like that, and also moving your triplets out away from the chord more to the center. And also, if you still don't reach the dynamics that you want, then you also go higher, of course, as everybody knows what we do to get a rich form, right? So this is the thing. And same accords to the diminuendo, which you have, which starts from bar 101. This is where you're keeping octaves in the right hand. The 7/16 bar, right? So this is also easy to do because you'll probably reduce these octaves with the diminuendo. I will take them to the node, to the chord, out of the center by this diminuendo. Also change the position by the line, so you have 4 bars of a continuous diminuendo. Because right now, if you're staying in this perfect position, it just does not reduce enough. It just sounds way too good still, yeah. And then for the left hand, the same. Go away from the center. Don't be afraid, and also raise your hand. So this is the effective way to do dynamics. Yeah? Because at the end of the day, we can't only reduce it by the distance because it's still not enough. Yeah? So there are some other options, some other ways which can help you. And also write 1 bar before the letter J, 112. Also, this pianissimi, and you have one of the very few lines in this piece, so there's almost no arcos, no bows, would really make it more broomy, like more not as straight, because it is very precise already and very rhythmical, more like moving from the diagonal motion. Yeah, so not playing straight as you do right now, but going more like this, reaching the bars from the side. That will take out this energy that goes directly into the resonator. Will take it a little bit, more gentle. So this is the thing. And also, for places like 87, we have a situation for 4 bars where actually not much happens dynamically speaking. And I would here maybe leave the right hand the way you're doing, because it's also, it's going higher and higher step by step. But I will start with left hand, really piano, the first bar. Second bar, step dynamics. Second bar, mezzo piano maybe, and then mezzo forte. And then actually in the third bar, you have dynamics, which you're holding all the time, which is a little bit, boring because not much changes in the structure. And then you can make in the last bar the active crescendo to the forte, which is given. Yeah? So this will be so my suggestions. And also, for this long distance, second page, basically, it starts on the first page from letter A, awaking. I would really work a little bit with my wrists, because when you start, besides the sticking, you start maybe flat, and then going up, raising your hands a little bit. When you try that, this will make some kind of organization for this bar. It won't change much in the dynamics because you're in the motion, everything cool, but not staying straight. That means cutting every single note the same way, like you're cutting the salad. And here you will have a little bit more vessel wave. So this will make a nicer connection, because this figure is lasting for kind of long, right? I think if you make some kind of wavy feeling, you can also like have a kind of lullaby to the audience, right? So that will have this wavy motion, so you don't have to sit stiff and just count the notes. Does it make sense?
Yes. No. I never thought about that, like changing where you're hitting on the mallet to help with the shaping and dynamics.
And also articulation, because it's really changing the stroke, right? It's changing the art of stroke. So that is, I think we can have make a legato, but then we need to have this kind of bow in our wrists, and we need to change it slightly, so that all these notes will be organized in some kind of certain way that helps. Yeah. That's from my side, and congratulations again. So many right notes. I mean, I can't believe. Such a great accuracy.
All right, well done, Lorenzo. Very nice, very good job.
Thank you.
Have you got any passing questions you want to ask quickly?
Let's see. I'm looking through the score real fast. I guess just in that last section, starting at L, I spent a lot of time practicing like the movement, the physical movement left to right of that. How would you go about practicing a section like that?
I would organize it in groups in 3, because practicing every single note is tiring, I think. So I'll go da do da 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 da. Make it like a valse speed. That means relax the last one. Dee do do dee do do. So not play every single one from the same position. Yeah, and this will bring you into some kind of round motion, which is easier to catch.
Yes, you. All right, I think we'll move on. Well done, Lorenzo. Great job. We'll see you soon. All right.
Tim, can I have just 2 minutes break for a run to the bathroom and clean my nose properly?
Of course you can.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Lorenzo.
Well done, Lorenzo. So tell me, Lorenzo, what are you up to? Oh, he's gone. He's gone. He's back.
I'm back. It's just slow to turn on the stuff.
That's okay. It's just like a conversation. You look like you're still at school.
Yes. Yeah. My school Wi-Fi usually works better than my home Wi-Fi, but not when there's a strings summer camp going on.
Oh, it's not even your
I'm
camp.
up here. Nope, not even for us.
Nice.
Yep.
So what are you doing for the rest of the summer? Are you finished or you carrying on?
So I'm working on my recital stuff for next semester. Good stuff. Playing some Cangelosi, some Bob Becker stuff. I don't know if you know, There's a piece called Suite for Lounge Lizard for timpani
I don't.
by Bob Bullman.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's kind of like a melodic pedaling, but like in a jazzy style.
Okay.
But very excited for it.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Great. Nice one. Well, we're going to very politely say goodbye to you because I'm going to move on to Alison, but it's great to chat and we'll catch up soon. I'm sure you've got some more sessions, so we'll see you around, but well done. Congrats. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you later. All right, let's go to Alison. Alison, are you there? If not, we'll just have a general. Hey, Alison, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Good.
Here is morning.
Nice to see you. Is it morning?
Yes.
What?
It's it's evening right now.
12. Almost
12 o'clock.
almost lunchtime. Nice.
I am
So
taking
tell me
my lunch.
What are you? Yeah, nice. What are you doing today? Like, what's your activities? What have you got planned?
Today I think is more relaxed. I am in vacations.
Uh-huh.
Yes, here is time to take a vacation, and I am practicing different instruments because in around 18, 19 days or of July, I'm going to have a course of band, symphonic band,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to play.
Okay.
Then I am practicing this kind of music. Uh,
Great. So summertime.
yes.
I'm guessing it's quite hot in Mexico right now. The weather.
Can you repeat me again?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's quite hot with the weather.
The weather is it's raining.
Oh.
It's raining all the time.
Okay.
All days. Yes. But beautiful
Okay.
days. It's hot, a little bit hot,
Yeah.
but it's raining.
It sounds like Europe stole the Mexican weather because it's been really hot here. I don't know about Kashka, but it's been hot in England.
Okay.
No, hey, I'm back. It's kind of
Wow.
cold here. I don't know. Right now we have cold days.
Okay.
It was already hot a few days. Let me find the Niflheim.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just. Where was I put it? I don't know, I lost it somewhere. Okay. We'll find it. No worries.
No worries. All right, Alison. Do you want to just say a little bit about yourself and what you're going to present to Kashka?
Exactly.
Okay. Hi.
Hey.
I am Alison Alonso, and I am from Mexico too. And I'm going to play Niflheim, and I put two demandant technically passages, and then I don't know if you have. I am happy to present this and to have an of you. I don't speak. I think in my movements or something like that.
Yeah, sure. We're happy to. I saw your performance yesterday, but I lost somewhere. I made some marks, but I lost it. I don't know where that is now, but I have another score. That's fine.
Okay.
No worries. So should we
Thank
play
you.
the video?
Yes, please.
All right, let's do it.
you very much. I really like your playing. You have such a good energy and really nice sound. So that's really something to appreciate. Definitely. Thank you. I see probably what you mean with legato is always a problem. I think the connection, right? So and also Niflheim is a piece that really consists of so many notes, and it's we should not forget because it's just hard and so many jobs and so many octaves and accents. We should not forget that mostly there's a line going above. And the good sign is if we have somewhere this line, this arco, this bow, that means the notes under the arco are organized in some special order. Yeah. Mostly I would say you bow first, and then the notes at the beginning are more heavy, and then you are taking it out. So maybe, do you have a mallet now in your hand? Do you have a mallet with you?
I a little bit.
Okay, just one. We just need one mallet. I just wanted to. Just one mallet. I wanted to give you an example. Take it like this. And just play it like a bow on the other hand, yeah? From the mallet head, just pull it. From the mallet head, I'm pressing. Where do you have the biggest weight? Where is the lightest one?
The light?
Where's more heavy? Where's more light?
This is more heavy, and this
Light?
is more. This is more heavy, and this is more light. Light.
Exactly. So this will also be like
Light.
this is light, no? Because it's kind of, we don't have the weight here. Weight is here. We can put it more heavy. So the beginning, when we start here, I would say this is always more heavy. So first notes under the bow will always be more heavy, and the last ones will almost go up because we need, to go back again. And this accords to when we play with 4 mallets, the bow is, we cannot do this, but our wrists will move the way like this. First, like low, and then for the whole phrase, change. So having a mallet, the effect will be, the beginning is almost as you play the rim shot, because you really go deep, and any next note will be played from this position, and then you start the bow again. Yeah. So this is the main idea, and this should feel like if you have a rubber band connecting your wrists. So there's action and reaction always. Doesn't matter how the bow is consistent. Like the first fragment where you started, the bar 58 or something. Yeah, this bows are there are 2 bows in both hands, right? So this is connected. So the first one's D B D B D D D D da 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 da. So there are no 2 notes that I played from the same position, like this or like that or like that. There's always, every next note will be played from a different position. Yeah. So the beginning is kind of in the next.
In the
Exactly. And so the bow needs at least 2 notes, then it will be in and out. It happens very often in Bach when you have parum, 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 parum. So it will be only deep and out. Deep and out, right? So parum, parum. If you have 3 tararum, pararum, pararum, yeah, here we have a situation with 10 notes, yeah, connected. So 10 notes need to get organized, but the last ones will be the ones that go up, and you don't correct. Yeah, it's important that if you play the bow, you don't correct artificially because they're getting lighter, then you correct and you press. No, just let them play. And I think when you go to the instruments and organize this way, that will help totally. And this is like 10 notes, but we have then with Menomoso, it starts like yeah, there's only 4 notes under each bow, Unfortunately, not with the beginning of the group. So it's really very, very cool. But the organization will be exactly the way where the bow begins. This one is deep, and every next one goes up. So this is basically the work of your wrists. Okay? And this is, depending on the dynamics, one could see it, or it will be also enough if you only you feel it. Then we will hear it already, because mallet is so much longer. So even if you have just a little impulse here, the reaction is already much bigger, on the mallet hand, because it's longer. So that makes a lot of difference. That makes a huge difference. Yeah. Yes, basically the energy and everything that you need loud.
Yes.
I like very much. I don't want to change anything.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And also, like we have the section, for example, from bar 71. It's coming to mysterious. Yeah, we have this sensation. Then I will also see that you don't play vertical strokes there. So you don't play tutti, tutti, even if it's soft and you play vertical strokes, that will always be too hard. So this is the place to play horizontal strokes. So you don't, go on the bar straight, you go rather like striking a little bit. Yeah. So having this little bit maybe diagonal coming, not a straight coming. Yeah. So coming from, don't have the head above the bar that you want to play, but have it more to the left or more from the right side. Yeah. So you'll catch it more like this, not like straight. Yeah. And that is giving a lot of it. That is taking the.
I'm going to try.
Yeah, exactly. So without you really beating it, you will rather strike it. So it's exactly, this is a natural material. And I'm so fascinated by marimba, even now, still nowadays, how much reaction there can be, because there's a wound. Such a natural material. No? And I think if you are a good friend, if you are friendly to the material, material also responds very well. Yeah. So this is more of this gentle striking for legati, for mysterious moments, for all everything that needs to be piano, everything that needs to be more connected. Then we need to go with these more horizontal strokes than vertical. And then also having these tools.
And when you
yeah, go ahead.
When you have when you are in movement, when you are not movement like this, how you make the legato? If you have legato in when you are just making this movement,
doesn't go. I mean, legato, if you have the straight movement, doesn't happen. This is the reality, because you will always have single strokes which are precisely hearable. So you can move. I mean, there are different parts. You can move from left to right, kind of, but you can also move from front or from the back. Any movement, any direction is good, just not to let the energy fall down straight into the resonator. Yeah, just to have this, kind of this way. And I played a lot with different instruments. That's why I think maybe it's a little bit unconventional. It's maybe not typical what we are taught from percussionists. You have to have same strokes, you should have same hands, you should have very precise rhythm. This is definitely, I agree totally. But when you then play with strings, when you then play with woods, with flute, and they can create gentle notes, you have to fit into the ensemble. No, that's why I started, going with the more this bow technique on the marimba, because that helps definitely. Yeah, and this
I
is
think
connecting
right
bones
now
much better.
I think that right now I need to investigate more sounds in the marimba, because I think normally I have the sound. I am trying to sound good, but in this part or clear, but not these kinds of sounds or different textures in the marimba.
Exactly, but you know about it. You understand what I'm talking about. And music is a language. You can't, scream because you're selling potatoes. Hey, I have potatoes. Come, everybody. Or, you're saying to someone, I really love you. You're my dearest one. So this will be a very different tone, very different art you will do. So this is exactly what we do with the music. So and I think Niflheim is so great. Also Lemuria. These are very, very interesting pieces with so many sensations in that. So we will just need to create them in us and maybe imagine some kind of situation. And if you have, I don't know, do you have a smaller sisters or brothers? Younger
Yes.
sister or brother?
Yes.
You do? So maybe, if your mom will say, you have to. Uh-huh. Great. Maybe if your mom says,
It's little.
bring them into, they should sleep now, right? So you try, so you will be super gentle so they don't wake up, if they're falling asleep, you'll do everything and being super sensitive. So make sure that nothing is too loud or, too much action. So this is the sensation that you always, also moving very, very gentle way. And if you want to, to scream to someone because there's an accident or there's something, and then you'll be more obvious and you'll scream. You'll be, just because there's a danger, right? So there will be a different sensation.
Yes, I understand.
So we also have to have it in our hands, basically, yeah. And I wonder, how do you do? Because you started after my favorite part, actually, after this mysterious, this funebre. I really like this rolled part, which is pianissimo. Most of the people, when I hear them play, they play pretty obvious reach of sound. But I think if you play it pianissimo, if you make these changes, if you manage everything, these octaves as far away, pretty fast, and you manage the connection in pianissimo, it's amazing. It's just amazing. But you did not play, so I don't know. Maybe you're doing great.
No.
Do you have any questions?
I think, let me see. When the movement need to be big, or the second fragment, I think, I don't know where I need to feel. I normally try to feel in all in my back and this part, but sometimes it's making this just in this part. But I don't know which is better for you, or to have a big energy in your body collaborate.
I mean, our full body is collaborating with when we want to have a big sound. And I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but you are not the tallest girl, and also not as as big as as an elephant, because if they will just elephant steps with the leg, then the earth is shaking, right? You are not this kind of person, so you need to use all what you have, all what is given to you, to put all the energy down. So I completely agree on the big movement, but sometimes you have also smaller movement because maybe the rhythm is faster, like da da down 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 da da down da down down. So this is more precise, and this of course needs to be dropped, and you can't go from this high because you will never be on time. So that's completely correct. But also I can recommend you, when you play like chords, maybe the first chord when you're changing da da down something, to be very flexible on your legs, yeah? To stand properly on your legs and don't stand on the straight legs. Do a little bit flexible knees, because this will also help to really to process the vibration, to process the energy through the body. I believe if we want to have a really big sound, this is like with singers, if you teach a singer, if they should sing for the whole theater, they need to be totally open. All of their body needs to resonate, right? So they can't, just get the voice out of here. Doesn't work. We have the same situation. So we should not have any blockade, I believe. Not in the wrist, not in the elbow, not in the hips, nowhere. We just need to be all, made of rubber and really process the sound that we have. Marimba has a very strong vibration. I love it. I mean, this is so generous. This is so great. Such an instrument that gives you so much. And also drums, of course. I mean, this is also a pure energy.
Yes, I think all the time I have made a lot of movements, and I am trying to make less movements because I
Well,
think
this is you.
I move too.
Well, this is you, right? I mean, who can tell you if you move too much or not? If you play it right, I mean, it sounds great. That's you. I think it's fine. And as I told you, I really liked your energy. That feels very
Okay.
pure to me. So I think everything is fine. If you see that you're missing notes or something, then maybe you need to consider something is wrong, or then you should change a position or see maybe less movement or something. But you're fine. I think you're doing well. And if it doesn't, hurt or something is wrong.
Thank you.
I mean, marimba is still so young. No one of us can tell you what is right, what is wrong. You need to find out your way. I mean, we can maybe give some advices, but that's it.
Very true. Very true.
And you guys in Mexico
Okay,
know more than
thank you very
anybody
much.
else.
All right, Alison. Congratulations. Well done. I love that little snippet. That was great. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Gracias, claro.
All right. We're going to go to Eric now, to the US. Hey, Eric.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Great. Okay. The floor is yours. If you want to say a little bit about yourself and what you're going to present, I'll cue the video up.
So my name is Eric. I am currently doing my master's at Oklahoma City University. Going to be doing my second year. The piece I'm playing is one of Bach's 6 suites, specifically the prelude from Suite Number 3.
All right. Should we hear it?
Oh yeah.
Let's hear it.
Thank you. Thank you. For how long do you play the piece?
I started it this past semester, and it was
Uh-huh.
for my final exam.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how do you feel about it?
I think I somewhat feel like I'm very stiff when I play marimba. I feel
Uh-huh.
stiff at times, and when I saw the recording, I was like, I was able to see it more clearly.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I feel
Okay.
good about it. I just feel like it could have been more
More
expressive.
fluent, more
Yeah,
expressive. Yeah, I see that. And is this piece for you different than other marimba pieces that you played before?
very different. It feels like there's a bigger amount of pressure to get all the notes correct and
Uh-huh.
to be able to phrase it in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. There are some issues with phrasing actually, because the first of all, I hope very much that you're playing from the original score, from the old text.
Yeah, I believe I am.
Yeah, so make sure that you, if you're playing cello suites, that you take a cello score that doesn't have any stickings in it or any dynamics or something, because I think that allows you to find your own way a little bit, and also to find, to become friends, you and big master Johann Sebastian Bach, because the main stuff, the most of the stuff that is important is actually clearly written and marked in the score. So we have, when you take the original score, you see that there's no dynamics. So this will not be our focus, although marimba can make dynamics. So we will, have it as a support, but it won't be the main goal. And what we really clearly see are the bows, no? And so this is something, first of all, is also helping us to, separate some notes from the others, to organize notes which are under bows, play them different than the notes which are like outside of the bows. And this is already helping to find out the polyphony, which is the main thing of Bach's music. Actually, he was very much looking for always for more than one voice. So it's so famous by his fugues, of course, and also in these monodic instruments, which kind of have only one bow in one line. Still, with his mastery, he managed to make more voices for us clearly. So this is something what I first of all want to ask you to respect more the bows. That is one thing, because at the time of Bach, like 300 years ago, there were no like coloring markers or something that we have now. We can point something green or yellow or something, even in the iPad, it's super easy. But in his time, he could only mark it with a line. And this is something that should actually lead our attention to, yeah? So especially, I don't know if you've been here with the previous person, with Addison, as I was explaining bows. So the first note of the bow will have some special treatment, special intention, and the last note will be the lightest one. So I hope you have a similar score as I do. So in the third bar, bows are starting. And very often by Bach, bows are not starting with the first note in the bar. They will be somewhere. I don't know if we have the same score, maybe if we get into the bar number 19.
Found it.
Found it, very good. Bar number 19. What kind of bows do you have there?
Yeah, I just see the first note leading into
The first
the
note,
first.
my first note is not under the bow. My first note is kind of plain, and then the bow starts with a second note.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we do have different scores then.
Okay. But there are three versions of Bach cello suites which are considered to be original. What about the second group? Where do you have the bow there?
On the second 16 note of beat 2.
Okay, you see, there's a difference already. And the third group?
On the first note of the third beat.
Okay. Okay. So these are also what I wanted actually to show you. What about the bar 21?
It's on the second 16 note of beat 1.
Okay. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I have only from 4th to 5th 16, so always the last note of the group and the first of the next one. So what means it's becoming, the first 3 notes of each group, which are the same. Da-da-dum, 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 they're playing, and the other one is da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, this typical connection. So all of that is actually very essential for Bach. And also, for example, I would jump a little bit to the bar number 72. I want to show you something, because one thing he's giving us an idea with the arcos, with the bows, and on the other hand, we also need to find some harmonical issues that are important, that are essential, because of harmonical relations. Do you have bar 72?
I do.
Okay, so where the bow starts there?
It starts on the second 16 note of beat 1. That's what I.
Okay, this is kind of wrong, because it should start on the 3rd one. This is a C, note C. If you go a bar ahead, and 3rd 16 will be D. If you go to next one, the 3rd 16 note will be E. And the next bar will be F. That means we are going the scale, the C major scale, step by step, until we reach until the G, which will be the dominanta, the strongest function, in this tonality. This will be the G major 7, and this is the bar 76 for us. So this is the, we are turning, because we don't have the do, da, 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 then E, da, 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 then F, and then we are turning and starting from the 3rd. So it means dee, do, dee, do, 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 do. So this is very, very powerful. And when we have this dominanta, it really requires the answer. Dominanta, you can't leave without answering, right? So it really needs to, go on. And by the way, please check this bar, because you have a mistake there on the 3rd group. You're playing wrong notes in bar number 76. And you do it with confidence. That's why I think maybe you learned it wrong. Yeah, so please check it. Okay, so this bowing will also require a little bit different acting of your melodies. And this is, we have kind of this whole section that starts on the 1st page. It starts in the bar what? I mean, I can sing with my cold. 37, bars 37.
Oh, I found it.
Or maybe even easier to check it in bar 45 and going on. There are these bows on every group, right?
There is.
Exactly. So that will require this acting. So first note deep and the other notes little from the higher position. Little change. Yeah. So da da dee da 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 dee da 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 dee da. You'll act. You'll really move your wrists all the time, and that's why, because you say you have an impression that you're playing a little bit stiff. It's not because you're stiff necessarily, but you are just playing from the same position, so it feels very mechanical. Yeah. So if you go, same thing, what you're doing, just, in these 3 notes that you're playing with the right hand, if in this action you will move your wrist every time, 1 by 2, 3, 4. So each one will go with a different position. This will make it way more fluent.
Is it also by prepping too that would help?
Yeah,
Prepping.
of course. Of course. I mean, this is, as I gave, I think, Alice on this example. If you have, you can do it actually. I think it's very cool to have this feeling. If you find a rubber band, which in Germany they're selling persil and all that stuff, spring onions connected with this rubber band. I use it I like to use it in my lessons sometimes. So connect to your wrists, and then you will know that, if you move one hand, the other one will be pulled immediately with. So you can't really play just with one because it will always not pull the other one. So just to have this sensation, to have this feeling, just put your this rubber band on your wrists. And then you will see, wow, okay, if I want to have a connection, I need to move. So I never start also, you know, first note like that. I'll always breathe before. And this is what I've learned, of course, by other musicians, you know, the woodwinds or brass people. They can't just start, they need to breathe before. And this is something that we should also adopt for ourselves, especially for pieces written for other instruments, because we have to breathe, or we have to make the preparation with a bow. So we really need this movement. Yeah.
Yeah, that's helpful. So rubber band.
And also, you know, because this is a prelude, that means this is not a dance. This is the suite. The whole suite is consisting out of dances, but this is a prelude. This is a kind of introduction. So we are more or less we have the presentation of the tonality in which we will be moving. Yeah. So first 2 bars here is nothing else but scale. It's just a scale with a passage, right? But it's actually, everything is so simple. And the actual music is starting from the 3rd bar. Then we are kind of moving and finding our way until the subdominante or the dominante, or then we go on into the other functions, right? So the first 2 bars, I would rather, you know, take your time also, like bam, dee, 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 da, 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 da. Just really have an introduction, a reel, because you're coming to the stage and it needs to make sense what you do, right? And so you need to find this role, because just playing the C major scale is also not as attractive, yeah, as it could be. So here maybe make some kind of construction, some kind of planning. How do I introduce? And I like it because, you know, starting on the marimba from this C, it's actually starting to sound really interesting in the low part, in the lowest octave. So why don't we take a little time for that? Yeah, a little weight, maybe also add some weight of your arms, so it's becoming a little more rich. I don't want to call it crescendo because this will be too much, but just having a richer tone. So that, I think, will make a lot of sense for you. And also understanding this harmony, as I showed you with these lines, you know, coming from bar 72. So this essential note will be the 3rd 16 in every bar in 72, 73, 74, 75. And, you know, just starting. So having always this note marked. And in my version, for example, this is the place where the bow starts with the 3rd 16 to catch my attention, you know, to lead my attention to this note. And then I found out, wow, this is step by step, really, until we reach the dominante. So this is so much stuff in Bach's music that is actually mentioned by these bows. That's why I'm rather looking for the very original version, you know, for this Ur text, for the version which is not made up by publishing companies or by publishers or by any arranger, because I think the score is actually interesting enough, and our instrument will lead us where to do eventually a little bit crescendo or diminuendo, where to stretch it a little bit, where to go on more, right? So that is, I think it's nice to be just, you know, have this dialogue. Do you have any questions?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw your recording of this suite.
Uh-huh.
Do you
Must
have
be
any
old.
advice on like how you memorized it? Like just memorize the entire suite? Do you have like any tips?
I was really going into each single dance very much, you know, so just having every movement in a very good role. And I think a good movement, good sticking, well, because if you have, for example, the last movement, the jig, So this is for me alla breve. This is in one movement, one motion. So having a sticking that allows you to play light and fast in alla breve. And I think this is not only the memory that you have of the piece, but also the muscle memory. Your muscle will lead you a little bit. So it's always to memorize this kind of pieces. It's important to have different levels of memorizing, to analyze it also a little bit, to know, where everything is going on, because it's tricky. Bach is always tricky. You can just miss one note, and if you just memorize it by hearing, by listening, then you're super confused. So analyzing a little bit, so you know where you harmonically are, finding as much information as you can, because then this will keep your brain also busy, occupied, and probably there will be no space or no time to let it freak out, because if you just play by motion, then you say, wow, what is next, what am I going to do, and this is kind of scary. So I think as much information, as many levels we have, as much it keeps us busy and helps to focus.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome. You're very welcome. Good luck and enjoy the other pieces. And I don't know, did you learn any other movements of the suite or not yet?
I have not yet, but I'm.
You know what? I would
wanting-
recommend you. I
Oh,
recommend you to
sorry.
learn not one by one, but just to find the one that you like the most. And then maybe if this is the fastest one, as the next one, learn the slowest one. And then you already have, some kind of extremes. Or maybe, go with minuets, or, just go with this pair, with a couple. So that's, yeah. There are many ways, but it doesn't have to be, from one to the other, because the one that I like the less probably is the Allemand. This is right after Prelude. I think it's kind of boring. So it will be pity, to learn it for, I don't know, a few months and then actually lose the joy. But I mean, maybe you will like it the most. I mean, I'm just saying, I try to trick out myself a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah, and you can learn so much, so many nice ornaments. There's so much music in that.
Yeah, that's all the questions I had.
Okay, thank you so much.
All
Yeah, I
right.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Great job, Eric. Well done.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Mhm.
All right. We'll see you soon. We're going to go to Chile now. Cristobal. And this is our last one. Hello. Hola.
Hi,
Hey, Gala. Hi. How are you?
everything okay? What about you?
Where are you now?
In Chile?
And now you're back in Chile. Okay.
Yeah,
Very
I'm back in
good.
Chile.
Uh-huh. Okay,
Right.
cool.
Do you two know each other already?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then, Cristobal, I'll leave you to just say what you're going to present, if that's all right.
Sure.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm Cristobal. I'm from Chile. I'm 27 years old, and the last time I've been playing in some festivals, competitions, taking some lessons, and working all that I can.
Great. And you're going to play Prelude number 1.
Yeah, I will. I will present to you the prelude number 1 of Siurli.
All right, let's hear it.
That's good for me. Thank you. So we have some more time to talk about. Thank you. This piece is so small and so short and so has such a simple melody that it's really unfair that it's so difficult at the same time, right? I think. And still, I think we should not lose the main features of the construction of what it is. Prelude is actually something that is not too big, not too heavy. And we have mostly andante tempo, yeah? So when you see the andante from bar number 8, yeah, this is your tempo, right? More. And then when you jump to the last page where you just B, there's adagio. Adagio is just a little slower, but not much. But so when you go in the bar 80, yeah, so super slow. This is more than largo and lento together. Yeah, and I love the description of the tempo actually that Nick Wout said once in his masterclass. Nick Wout from Amsterdam. He said adagio is for him a shopping tempo. He was observing his wife, going shopping, and he will just look on some windows in the shops and say, yeah, maybe this, maybe that. No, let's move. It's kind of, but it's moving. It's moving. So my feeling is that you tend a little bit to play it too slow, especially exactly this bar 80. This is nothing else but some kind of transition. There's no theme in this part, and that is actually written totally easy to play, right? For marimba, that actually fits totally easy. So I would rather, although for each group of each beat in the bar you have 9 notes, I would ask you to find a tempo, which is adagio, maybe just what will be normal adagio for us. So it flows, because right now I have a feeling it stands in your hands, yeah? So this is easy. This you can actually make more fluent. The same thing I would recommend you for the second page, this adagio, yeah? This is so mostly, as you do, and many people are separating it for 8 notes, but there's no need to separate it so much. So find the adagio. What is adagio for you? Can you beat me adagio?
Adagio to me is a really calm tempo.
Yeah, can you beat? Can you make some? Exactly. Then you'll have. So don't take it too serious. Emmanuel really loves writing forte because he really likes sound, and the way he is playing is full of energy always, and that's great. So we will need to find for the second page some kind of compromise to have it full of sound, but not really the way that separates every note. It's stuck. Yeah, adagio is a quiet tempo, is a slow tempo, but it's still fluent. It's not like grave. Grave is almost dead. Yeah, it's like super heavy, super slow. So that will be my indication. So don't lose, although it's so packed, don't lose the main features of the, what is the tempo, description stuff. For the beginning, for the roll parts, and also for the ending. If the structure of the chord that you have to play is so far from each other, is so separated, then you have to roll faster to make it connected. Yeah. So what you do with the first chord, I like it very much. You catch it together, and I was very much wishing that you will be consequent on that. Pum, 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 pum. But then you separate, da, 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 before rolling. Yeah, you don't go vertical on chords. I don't see the reason why don't we go vertical on chords. These are chords. So chord is our priority, and the roll is just to sustain it. If we see, okay, the note doesn't last, long enough, then we need to roll a little bit. But that should not be our goal. And for sure not for the beginning, yeah? The same situation we have in the, what I stopped actually, but it's going on in 85. Yeah, these ones also. They should start vertical, and I'm not talking about starting with an accent. I'm talking about starting on time. And I like explaining it like you have a good choir, like philharmonic professional choir that sings, or you have a church choir where everybody loves to sing, but people have no clue. So everybody starts wherever, right? So that feels a little bit like that. Yeah. But playing with other instruments, it will be more than fair to give the clear statement and to start on time. Okay? Then I will have a recommendation for the melody part that starts, this is this andante, which starts in bar 29 with pick up. Pom, pom, pom. And the beat 2, I recommend you to play from high. To play the first note like we do normally, and the second like that. That will be more muted, more delicate. And for this piano, or pianissimo even, will leave the space for the melody much better. Because if you go in the same, art with every stroke, they will be still very resonant. So it will be nice if you go pom, 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 dum. That will have more air. Yeah, and this will give space to the melody, which is still pianissimo or whatever, mezzo forte then, or then piano again. So the second beat in this bar, like in every bar that goes in 3, second and third beat should be lighter. Yeah, so also this musical thinking, don't switch it off only because it's marimba. Okay, and so this is the also according to the place from 44. That will also be very important when the structure gets tighter in this whole area, 49, 50 and stuff. Also having, when you have two voices overlapping each other, to sing which one is the melodic one, which one is the accompaniment. So put the accompaniment really more muffled, more down for the structure. That will help. And for this, sorry, for the climax that starts from 57, this section, I think you could be actually more free with the tempo, with the speed, because the speed, besides of being prelude, being small, having a very small theme, it's very romantic. It's like super romantic, and the typical feature of romanticism is this amazing, differences between dynamics and also be in a agogical way. Yeah, so there's a lot of movement, as you see. So I think when it gets more exciting, and also on this nonolas, which look so difficult, but they are not, realistically speaking. Like bar 62, bar 64, it's pretty simple, but it's a very good moment to speed up a little bit, to make it more exciting in this way. And then in 65 you can actually stretch it more than to get the culmination, right, to get the climax. So make more of the movement in here, because it's romantic, and I'm pretty sure Emmanuel will not be angry. Okay, do you have any questions so far?
No, at the moment. I'm thinking what you said.
And for example, like bar 74, we're coming out of the melody. Yeah, bing, and then he's writing what above?
più
Piumoso. What does it mean?
faster.
Exactly. You do exactly opposite.
Yeah.
Because it's a little difficult to catch it right, but you have time to prepare in the third beat. And I think it makes a lot of sense to do the piumoso. Otherwise, the ritenuto doesn't make any sense in the second part of the phrase. No? And so I think he made it really right in this case. So we don't have to correct him. We might correct. I don't say correct, but I took the climax of the bar 66 one octave down because I'm too short. I mean, he's like a meter taller than I am, so he can easily get it. Yeah, right. But I also, for me, it looks like a real climax. This is a fortissimo, and this is after the super exciting, phrases. So I would rather not skip on dynamics, being like a frog on the marimba, and just reaching whatever, but rather having power to really express that climax. So this is the moment that I needed to correct him. Otherwise, I will screw the climax, what I don't like. But in this piumoso, I think that makes a lot of sense to keep it this way. Yeah, because it's surprising. And as I'm saying, there's typical features of romantic piece, which definitely Prelude is a romantic piece, are these unpredictable actings. Yeah, so for surprisingly getting faster or slower or pulling something down completely. Yeah, so these are those interesting parts, and also going really on maximum dynamical range. So whenever you have this melody in pianissimo, really looking that you separate the stuff that does not belong to melody and getting maximum out of forte, which is, I think, no problem for you. So you're doing generally good job. I will just, switch on back your general musical understanding. So really go back again. What is andante for me? What will be the flow? And I say, okay, can I do it? Maybe not that fast. Okay, then I need to slow down a little bit. But still, let's go in andante and not in grave, yeah? Because you are kind of a little bit going into extremes in this general tempi. So I would see that I will get it back again to what is actually supposed to be. Okay? Any question so far?
No, I didn't have.
But maybe also just my last recommendation, bar 3940. That's piumoso when you go. I would also, see that I separate hands. Right hand may be more resonant. But left hand more from the higher point. No? So it's a little bit, it's not that strong. The second beat, that will also make this, meeting 2 against 3 more clear, definitely.
Okay.
And then there's no tempo difference in the following bar in 42. So I think it's actually cool to play it in tempo. To plan it carefully. And it's easy to play, but it's actually cool to stay in tempo in there. Okay? Yeah, sure. Good. So if you don't have any questions, I think I maybe covered most of the parts with what I wanted. I mean, there are also some sticking issues, but this is maybe something that it's better when we meet one day on something, and then we can check what maybe functions better. But I would always, by every piece, concentrate first on tempo and on dynamics, because these are the two musical features that are influencing us immediately. If you play a wrong note, or if you, I don't know, maybe harmonically do something wrong, it does not make such an impact than if the tempo is too fast or too slow, or if you play wrong dynamics, right? So these are the two first most easy features which are actually influencing us. So these are also these two main features which we should take care of. Okay? Good.
All right.
So
Great
I
job.
think we're done so far.
Fantastic. Great. Well done. Nice job.
Thanks, Katarzyna. It's an honor to be in a lesson with you. You
Very
are
welcome.
one of my reference, so completely honored.
Thank you, but actually it would be smarter to have a lesson maybe with Emmanuel yesterday, right? With the session with the prelude.
Yeah. Yesterday I had a class with Manu.
You did. Okay, cool. I hope I didn't say anything wrong.
No, not at all. Great feedback. All right. Has anyone got any last parting questions? And I think we're going to let Kashka go because, as you might have guessed, she's a little under the weather. So we'll let her get some sleep.
And just clean my nose properly. Make the nose shower. I like this nose shower that helps so much. Do you know that?
A nose shower.
Like nose shower. This is like you need to put the
yeah,
salt on one side and then the other. That helps so much. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of natural. Yeah. No, you guys are doing really great. So thank you very much for playing and for your trust, for your questions, and for your for taking recommendations. Really,
Brilliant.
very good potential. It's really huge. Nice.
All right. Well, with that said, thank you so much, Kashka, for this evening. That's been amazing. We are going to have a day off tomorrow, and then we've got Mariana on the 10th of July, same time, same place. So until then, we'll see you soon.
Say hello to Marianka.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. We will do.